Hello everybody and welcome back to more Ragplay's Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. When last we left off, I had parked myself in front of the hideout, and I didn't really mean to. I'd actually meant to put myself in front of the exit of the apartments so we could just go out onto the streets the next episode, but probably for the best that we wound up here anyway, since we did gain a lot of information from Kadir and Larim and Dia and all the other aliens in this apartment that we need some time to chew over. Telemachus and Karth need to talk it over and try and come up with the best course of action. One of the things you'll notice that has changed as well is the attire has changed back to our normal clothes. I think that's for the best while we're in the upper city. It's probably not best to go walking around as the occupier, especially not when we're going to be heading over to a bar and plying the patrons of the bar for information. They're not going to be really that willing to spill their guts to the Sith, and that is going to be our next course of action. I think heading to the bar is the smart thing to do. The cantina and alcohol being the great social lubricant, we should be able to find some information maybe on Bastila. At least that's what Telemachus is thinking. So we're going to be heading there. The other thing I was thinking about in between sessions is just the situation with the illegal aliens in Taris and how it's not legal to be an alien in the upper city. And I was thinking, like, the game, it seems to be trying to portray Taris as a racist planet, but it's not that it's against aliens per se, because they're allowed to conduct business up here. At least they are now. So it's changing, or it was changing before the Sith took over. It's that whatever the aliens brought previously, it could have been crime or because of poverty, I suppose. Whenever the aliens immigrated here from off-planet at some point, since Taris was a human planet, they probably landed in the lower city, which would have been the upper city then. And so the humans over time, having more finances to begin with and being more well off, built upwards over time. The lower city became the lower city, and the aliens stayed there because they weren't as financially well off or whatever. So being that might have led to a lot of crime, and a lot of poverty leads to crime. So it's not so much that they're aliens that the Tarisians seem to have the problem with, it's that they're poor, and poverty leads to crime. But still, the conclusion that the government had come to by outlawing aliens from holding a residence in the upper city is the wrong conclusion to come to. It's not because they are aliens that they commit crime. It would be because they were poor that they committed the crime. So it's a stupid law, and it's too bad that it won't be fixed by anyone. Now, at least it won't be until the Sith are driven off this planet. I don't think, sadly, Karth and Telemachus are going to be able to remove the Sith from Taris. They don't have time to fix everybody's problems, so we're going to have to play it by ear on what we can do that's good and what we can't do. So anyway, where are we going now? We need to get out of here. But first, I'm going to have another chat with Larim and read some of those item descriptions that we didn't read, just because I don't feel right about not showing you guys off all the equipment. At least the flavor text, anyway. Someone took some time to write that stuff, and I want to show it off. What did we do last time? I think the point that I got bored at, so to speak, was on the grenades. So I think the sonic grenade we accidentally flipped past. The grenades explode loudly, but the majority of their effect is delivered in disorienting frequencies the ear can barely perceive, even if it is damaged. So sonic points, -6 to dexterity, as well as a secondary effect, 20 sonic points of damage. Concussion grenades, which I suppose would be the flashbangs. This type of grenade explodes in a concussive wave of force. It disrupts the senses of both organics and inorganic targets in the area of effect. And that's a stun for 9 seconds, a DC of 15 for no effect. The sound dampening stealth unit. This Republic unit improves basic stealth mode field by dampening sound that the user might make. Opponents must make an awareness check versus the user stealth skill +2, or remain unaware of them. The user must have paid points in the stealth skill to gain the use of the stealth mode. Combat disrupts the field, but mundane tasks do not. So that's a +2 in the stealth versus the regular stealth field generator. This device enables stealth mode, a camouflage field that hides the user. And it's the same effect. Opponents must make an awareness check versus the stealth skill of the user, or remain unaware of them. The user must have paid points into the stealth skill to use the stealth mode. Combat disrupts the field, the mundane tasks do not. Battle stimulant. Max vitality, plus 8 points, plus 1 to damage, plus 1 to attack. Duration is 120 seconds. This stimulant enables the user to better absorb damage and focus the mind on the fight, improving the ability to hit. The effect wears off after a short time. Stim bonuses that affect the same statistic do not stack. And we have several types of mines. Flash mines. Carefully set flash mines can stun any enemy unfortunate enough to step on them. This is the basic model. Frag mines send blasts of shrapnel through the air to nearby enemies. This is the basic model. And then minor gas mines. When stepped on, gas mines saturate the immediate area with poisonous gas. This is a basic model. In plasma mines. When stepped on, plasma mines emit a short burst of intense heat, searing all enemies nearby. This is the basic model. I think that was everything, if I'm not mistaken. We didn't look at the quarterstaff's damage. Damage physical 1 to 6, 20 to 20 threat, so 1 to 6 or 2 to 12 on a crit. I guess 12 it would be, since crits, I believe they do maximum damage if you roll a crit. We don't have anything else to sell, I don't think, so since we just got med packs and computer spikes and parts and whatnot in between those sessions from all the things that we looted. So, I think it's time to leave. We've done what we can, and we're all prepped and snazzy for a night out on the town. Let's go. For City South. So, if I haven't said it already, I think I did in one of the descriptions. Welcome to Taris, Upper City. A very beautiful place. I have a lot of memories coming through here, and I love the sunset and the aesthetics. It really felt like a Star Wars game, and I knew I was playing something great. Just like, look at all the people coming off an old computer, and this was like the first big game that I had played with these kind of graphics, and it blew my mind at the time. It still looks good, even to this day, I think. This floating statuary here. I think Telemachus will head over to the, not too close to the escape pod, because there are Sith strolling around here. But, just looky-loo. Have a little look, see what's going on, see if, as they turn their backs, he can climb up into the thing and see if there's anything to salvage. Nothing. Hop out and admire the view. See if we can actually look down. You can see where the skybox is cut off. One of the things about KotOR that was there by default is the camera was locked, so you couldn't really look straight up. But look at that traffic! Isn't that nice? I've never seen that before looking up on Taris, but this is a mod I installed that allows the camera to access free mode to even be able to see this stuff. I don't know why they didn't let you do that before, but it's nice to be able to look up and down. See our sword there. Anyway, I suppose as Telemachus is admiring the scenery of Taris, his mind would drift back to the dream he had upon arriving here of the Jedi who was in conflict with what he would assume to have been a Sith. Why is he? It's very odd. He has no idea why he's dreaming these things. He's never had a dream ever like this that felt so vivid. And who was that Jedi? Was that Bastila? He's never met her as far as he can remember. And why did she appear so beautiful if he never met her? How is he seeing her in his dreams? As like he was under the assumption that she was older, like she was, in her 50s or something. But is this just like his imagination filling in the blanks from the conversation he had with Karth and Trask? Like, he doesn't know. This is all very weird. Or, like, the most important thing, who the hell was she fighting? And why is he having these dreams? Questions that need answering. We must go to see Saruman or something to find out why. Have him stick us on top of a tower. think about what we've done. And following the direction that KotOR had given us, we're heading towards the cantina, but here is Kebla's shop on the way there. Equipment Emporium. Kebla's shop. Inside we have various goods. We're going to take a little browse. Got some armor. We have what looks to be short swords or long swords that, again, have the same problem as all the other ones. Telemachus is really disconcerted that none of these weapons have a large enough crossguard. He feels that there's a lot to be desired in these off-world swords. They just do not have the hand protection as the ones from his homeworld. He would much prefer a longer crossguard, longer quillons, and he's just not seeing it. He's going to have to find some mods for himself to be able to fix up his own swords, because these modern variants have taken a lot of steps backward in design from the ancient models, the more traditional models from his home world. Got some disruptor pistols and holdout pistols, some droid parts, blaster rifles, heavy blaster pistols, and some more holdouts, some more armor. Got some droid parts, grenades, what look like. I don't know what those are, stun sticks, I guess? Backpacks. Shakes his head in disgust and lifts his nose to double-bladed swords, thinking how ridiculous they are and how ineffectual they are in actual combat. Just does not agree. He's just shaking his head. Let's have a chat with that droid and see. The droid is too busy performing its assigned duties to speak with you. Rude. I rate this 2 stars on whatever the phone apps people use now to rate establishments. I don't know. I don't use those damn things. Let's talk to Kebla Yurt.
Hello there. I haven't seen you in my shop before. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Kebla Yurt. Welcome to the Equipment Emporium. You looking to buy some supplies? My shop's the largest one in all of Upper Taris. Best selection on the planet. Whatever you need, I've got. Well, mostly.
Mostly? What do you mean by that?
The Sith confiscated all my heavy weapons, and they impounded all my ships and swoop bikes. But I've still got a real nice selection, if you're interested.
Well, isn't that nice of the Sith to relieve you of all those dangerous weapons? Jeez. How about I ask you some questions first, before we get into the shopping?
Anything I can do to help
time.
a potential customer out. What do you want to know?
That's very nice of you. It seems to him already from talking to her, she really doesn't have any reason for liking the Sith, but just to be safe, I think we'll ease into her with a bit of small talk before we get her political opinions. I need some general information on Taris.
Oh, you're one of those off-worlders, aren't you? Come to Taris for a short business trip and end up stuck here because of the Sith quarantine,
short
right?
Business trip.
You can't be too happy. Trapped on an unfamiliar world and all. But Taris isn't so bad, as long as you stay in the upper city. Just try to avoid the Sith. And stay out of the lower city. The swoop gangs are totally out of control. Even Davik's men are having trouble down there.
Okay, well, 2 options here to ask about. Let's start with the swoop gangs. Swoop gangs, what can you tell me about them?
I don't have anything good to say about those swoop gangs. Zooming around on their swoop bikes, terrorizing the lower city like a bunch of animals. Things weren't so bad when the hidden Becks were running the show. But ever since the rise of the Black Vulcar gang, the lower city has been nothing short of a war zone. The Sith haven't even bothered trying to maintain order down there. And I heard a rumor that Davik's own people are having problems with the Black Vulcars now.
Yeah. Gang wars in the lower city. So basically what we've established, yes, the lower city is full of crime, and it's probably no small part to just how much poverty is down there, but Sith aren't doing anything to police it, unsurprising. It's not anything that would benefit them. Taris's problem, that's local government. What do you think about Davik, or what do you know about Davik, I should say?
Oh, Davik's a legitimate businessman, if you get my drift.
Oh.
Smuggling, slaving, extortion. They say he's a member of the Exchange, you know, the big intergalactic criminal organization.
I've heard of the Exchange. Bad organization to cross. But if anyone has blockade-breaking ships, however, it's them.
I have to pay him a protection fee every month, but it's reasonable. And I get most of my inventory through Davik and his suppliers. I'm just smart enough not to ask where it came from, you understand?
Perfectly. Yeah, and smuggling was the only hint he needed. He heard that, and that's the perfect opportunity. Telemachus is probably not going to want to mess with the Exchange whenever he can avoid it. They might be allies down the road, so it's looking like the lower city, just from talking to Kebla, he's already getting the impression that the lower city is going to have a lot more opportunities to burn out of this rock than anywhere else. So, Davik's nothing but a petty crime lord. Just moralize to her. That'll work, I'm sure. She gets her friggin' inventory from him. I'm not gonna do that in her establishment. Is Davik working with the Sith? That's a good question, because we don't want to be talking to him if he is. Probably not. Criminals and government tend to, well, at least criminal syndicates tend to not want to get involved with each other. So, let's ask her that.
Davik hates the Sith as much as anybody. The quarantine has put a real dent in his operations, too. But he's keeping a low profile as long as the occupation lasts.
Smart.
Davik stays out of the way, and the Sith don't bother him. The swoop gangs could learn a thing or two from this tidy little arrangement, instead of always going after each other.
Yeah. So, I was wondering how you feel about the Sith. I think it's pretty clear.
It's not smart to say
Yeah.
bad things about the people
Yeah, I
in
get
power,
you.
if you get my meaning. I just wish the Sith would ease up on the quarantine. They're killing my business. I can't say I like having them here in Upper City, but it could be worse, and we're still a lot better off than the Lower City, what with those swoop gangs and all.
Yeah. Well, you're better off than some people. I just saw a guy get shot to death. So that's mildly debatable, I suppose, depending on who you are. Do you know anything about the escape pods that crashed here on Taris? I would say this in a hushed tone.
I heard a couple of pods crash down in the Undercity. I bet the crash sites have already been stripped clean by the Sith, though. Unless the swoop gangs or Davik's men got there first.
All roads lead down. Okay. Well, I'll be going now, since I can't switch back to
Good day to you,
inventory
then.
without leaving.
Remember to come back to my shop if you ever need any supplies.
Thank you so much. You've been very helpful. We're back.
Welcome
Look at
to
that.
the Equipment Emporium. Finest selection of supplies in all of Taris. You interested in seeing what I have in stock?
Absolutely. We are looking to buy.
Just so you know, the prices on the items are final. No bargaining here. This isn't a swap meet, okay? I only deal in
I
top-notch stuff.
understand. Security spikes. So this one-use item improves the user's ability to bypass security measures, creating electronic interference in the locking mechanisms of the doors and containers. As far as I know, these don't do anything in the game. I think they're broken. I think they weren't implemented properly, so don't buy them. You know, if you do, only buy one of them so that you don't lose all your money. Got a Bonadin alloy heavy suit. Defense bonus is 6, dexterity bonus is 4. Bonadin is emerging industrial society. It's actually a planet, financing their exploration of the galaxy through production of small arms and armor. They favor heavy materials, offering solid defense. Another kind of stuff that Telemachus will know is kind of galactic, anything related to like geography and history, I suppose, and he'll know some basic things about basic planets. And Bonadin, since I know things about basic things about basic planets in Star Wars, be easy for me to convey some information. Bonadin is a world that has, I guess, a lot of pollution on it. It's pretty, I think it's like a desert world, heavily polluted because of the metal the strip mining activities that are on there and stuff like that. So they make good armor, 6 and 4, but it's I can't really say that's worth. Now you look at the differences between this and this, right? So this is defense bonus of 5, max dex bonus of +4, 100. The jump in price, 900 for 1 more defense. I don't think so. If you want 1 more defense, just sacrifice this and get the sacrifice a point of dexterity and get the military suit. Excuse me. So we have what else? Shawnee ritual brands, cringe. Damage physical 3 to 13, 20. It's critical hit on a 20. Attack modifier is +1, so it's a little easier to hit with. It does a little bit more damage. Shiny Fire Dancers use the double-bladed ritual brand in a dodging and slicing pattern. So graceful, it looks more like a dance than combat. Ichani are these white-haired, they're like they look like humans, but they're like all of them have white hair and white eyebrows, and you know they're really pale and stuff. But yeah. Yeah, he's pretty confident it is more like a dance than combat. A double-bladed sword, a difficult weapon to master. The double-bladed sword has a grip in the center with 2 long blades emerging from either end. The double-bladed sword is capable of inflicting more damage, but is also less precise than the single-bladed variant. Yeah, I'm sure it is mechanically, but again, he's such a snob when it comes to these double-bladed weapons. It looks silly to him. It looks silly to me as a user. Sith sniper rifle. Ooh, he's salivating over this. That's a lot of money. 1,500 credits. Jesus, should take out a mortgage on our apartment. Damage energy 2 to 9, range 28 meters, 19 to 20 times 2. Attack modifier +1. Despite its effectiveness, these modified blaster rifles are not often employed by the Sith. They prefer to engage their enemies close up close and personal. Yeah. Got a regular blaster rifle. We've seen those before. Ion grenades. I believe we read about those already. The grenades emit a extremely strong burst of energy, devastating to droids or personal shields caught in the effect. Sonic grenades, frag grenades, concussion grenades. I think we've already seen all of those. We have a stealth field enhancer, stealth skill +4, a specialized espionage unit designed to get the most out of the stealth field generator by improving the user's perception of the field while in stealth mode. We've seen that, and we've read about all of these mines, I believe, as well. Incidentally, the Sith come in and confiscate all of her heavy weapons, as it were, but leave the fucking landmines for civilian purchase. What are you doing? That's crazy. Let's go into the store today and buy a landmine. I gotta nip out to the store. And a permacrete detonator. Item cost 50. This is a quest item. This powerful detonator is extremely complicated. Only someone trained in its use could set and activate it. Now, Telemachus doesn't have any reason to buy this right now, so I'm not going to buy it right now, but we're going to have to come back for it at some point. So, yeah, we will just, we'll leave that. I don't think we're going to buy anything here for now, but we know what she has for future. So, this is the cantina. And, you know, just act casual, walk up to the Sith Trooper and ask if the place is open.
Don't bother me. I'm here on official Sith business.
Alright. You know what? I understand, man. Long shift. You don't feel like talking to everybody who walks by. I get it. No worries. Let's go in.